Commander Elena Santos stood motionless before the quantum display wall in Earth's Deep Space Monitor facility, buried 2 kilometers beneath the Pacific Ocean. The massive holographic projection showed thousands of red dots approaching from the direction of the Carina Nebula. Each dot represented a warship belonging to the Kraxan Empire, the self-proclaimed peacekeepers of the galaxy. The air in the command center was thick with anticipation, but not fear. Humanity had been preparing for this moment for over 50 years. While the rest of the galaxy raced to build bigger ships and more powerful weapons, Earth had chosen a different path. "Status report on the quantum mesh," Elena commanded, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. The mesh was humanity's masterpiece, a vast network of microscopic quantum satellites that could bend not just light, but reality itself. "Quantum mesh operating at 99.8% efficiency, Commander," Lieutenant Raj Patel responded from his station. His fingers danced across neural interfaces that would appear as primitive touchscreens to any alien scanning technology. To their sensors, Earth appears exactly as expected. A civilization barely capable of reaching Mars, still struggling with basic fusion technology. Elena allowed herself a small smile. The Kraxan Empire, for all their supposed superiority, were predictable. They followed the same pattern with every civilization they encountered: appear at the edge of the solar system, demonstrate overwhelming force, then offer protection in exchange for complete submission to their rule. "Dr. Wilson, how are the atmospheric quantum generators performing?" Helena turned to the chief physicist, a woman whose breakthrough in quantum field manipulation had revolutionized humanity's approach to technological advancement. "All 18 generators are functioning perfectly," Dr. Wilson replied, adjusting her neural interface. "The entire Earth is wrapped in a quantum probability field that makes our true technological level completely undetectable. As far as the Kraxan are concerned, we're still burning fossil fuels and launching chemical rockets." The command center hummed with activity as dozens of operators monitored their stations. To an outside observer, the facility would appear to be using dated computer technology. In reality, each workstation was connected to quantum processors that could perform calculations that would make the most advanced Kraxan supercomputers look like ancient calculators. "Commander," Lieutenant Patel's voice cut through the ambient noise. "The Kraxan fleet has passed Jupiter's orbit. Their scan patterns indicate they're conducting standard preliminary civilization assessment." Elena nodded, moving to the central strategic display. The holographic projection showed the true extent of humanity's preparations. Hidden beneath the quantum mesh were thousands of advanced warships, their designs based not on brute force, but on elegant efficiency. While the Kraxan built massive dreadnoughts powered by artificial stars, humanity had developed vessels that could slit between the quantum strings of reality itself. "Begin Operation Silent Thunder, Phase 1, Elena commanded. Across the solar system, carefully orchestrated events began to unfold. On Mars, what appeared to be a primitive research station suffered a catastrophic reactor failure, or so the Kraxan sensors would report. In reality, the station was activating quantum displacement fields that would make the upcoming battle unlike anything the Empire had ever encountered. "Message incoming from the Kraxan flagship," announced Communications Officer Maya Chen. "They're broadcasting on all frequencies, using standard first contact protocols." "Put it through," Elena ordered, straightening her uniform. The message played throughout the command center, translated in real time by quantum AI systems that the Kraxan couldn't even conceive of. "Attention, civilization of Sol 3. This is High Commander Vextor of the Kraxan Empire. We have observed your development and come to offer you the protection and guidance of our benevolent empire. Resist, and we will be forced to demonstrate our power. Submit, and you will be elevated to a proper place in the galactic community." Elena exchanged knowing looks with her senior staff. The message was exactly what their intelligence predicted. The same words the Kraxan had used on countless other worlds. But this time, things would be different. "Send our response," Elena commanded. Use the prepared cultural package showing our primitive attempts at space exploration. Let them think we're scrambling to understand their presence. As the carefully crafted message was transmitted, Elena received a secure quantum communication from the World Council. The text floated in her neural interface. Operation Silent Thunder is approved. Show them why humanity chose to hide in plain sight. The Kraxan fleet continued its approach, their sensors sweeping Earth with what they believed to be overwhelming technological superiority. They detected exactly what humanity wanted them to see: a planet still divided into nations, struggling with climate change, barely able to maintain a few space stations in low Earth orbit. What they couldn't detect were the quantum weapon platforms hidden in dimensional pockets throughout the solar system. They didn't see the fleets of ships that could outmaneuver their finest vessels while appearing to be simple satellites. Most importantly, they couldn't see that every piece of data they were gathering was being fed to them through the most sophisticated deception network ever created. They're launching their assessment drones, Lieutenant Puddle reported. Standard pattern, just as the simulations predicted. Elena watched as the alien drones descended toward Earth's atmosphere. Each one would be allowed to see exactly what humanity wanted them to see. The trap was set, and the Kraxan Empire was about to learn that technological advancement didn't always follow their predictable path. Initiate final preparations for Phase 2, Elena ordered. Let's show them why humanity chose to be the silent watchers of the galaxy. Around Earth, quantum fields shifted imperceptibly. Weapon systems came online without generating any detectable energy signatures, and humanity prepared to reveal that sometimes the most dangerous predator was the one that chose to look like prey. Lieutenant James Chen watched the Kraxan assessment drones approach his outdated defense station through windows that appeared to be simple reinforced glass. In reality, they were quantum state displays providing him with more tactical data than the entire Kraxan fleet could process in a day. Defense Station Aurora hung in low Earth orbit, deliberately designed to look like it was cobbled together from surplus parts and desperate engineering. Status report on our visitors, James commanded, his voice calm despite the dozen Kraxan drones now surrounding his station. The crew of 30 appeared to be operating ancient computer terminals and wearing simple pressure suits. In truth, their neural interfaces were processing information through quantum channels, and their suits could survive a direct hit from a Kraxan capital ship. They're scanning us with everything they've got, sir, Technical Officer Emma Brooks reported, pretending to adjust a clunky mechanical control panel. Their energy readings indicate they're particularly interested in our primitive fusion reactor. James suppressed a smile. The reactor was a masterpiece of deception, a quantum core designed to emit the exact radiation signature of an unstable fusion plant on the verge of collapse. The Kraxan Empire had seen hundreds of primitive civilizations attempt fusion power, and they thought they knew exactly what to expect. Sir, incoming transmission from the nearest drone, Communications Officer David Rivera announced. They're requesting permission to dock for a safety inspection of our reactor systems. This was the moment they had trained for. James straightened his deliberately worn-looking uniform and nodded. Grant them permission. Let's show them exactly what they expect to see. The Kraxan inspection team consisted of 3 beings in sleek environmental suits, their movements betraying their confidence in their technological superiority. They emerged from their shuttle into Aurora's docking bay, where exposed pipes leaked steam and warning lights flickered erratically, all carefully choreographed elements of humanity's deception. Greetings, representatives of Earth, the lead inspector spoke through their translation device. I am Senior Inspector Kexley. We have detected dangerous instabilities in your power systems. We are here to prevent a catastrophic failure that could damage your planet's primitive infrastructure. James bowed slightly, playing the part of an overwhelmed officer facing superior beings. We're grateful for your assistance, Senior Inspector. We've been struggling with containment issues since we attempted to upgrade our fusion containment fields last month. The Kraxan team moved through the station, their scanning devices recording exactly what humanity wanted them to see. They passed crew members who appeared to be struggling with basic repairs, their tools seemingly ancient compared to Kraxan technology. Every reading, every piece of data, was a carefully constructed lie. In the station's control center, Emma Brooks deliberately fumbled with controls as warning lights flashed. "Sir, containment field fluctuating again. We're at 87% and dropping." The Kraxan inspectors immediately raised their scanning devices, concern evident in their posture. Their readings showed a fusion reactor on the brink of collapse, exactly the kind of situation they had seen dozens of times on other primitive worlds. "This is worse than we thought," Kexley announced, their translator struggling to convey their alarm. "Your containment technology is dangerously inadequate. We must shut down this facility immediately." James allowed fear to creep into his voice. "But sir, this station provides 15% of Earth's orbital defense coverage. Without it, your current defensive capabilities are irrelevant." Another inspector interrupted. "The Kraxan Empire will provide for your protection, as we have done for countless other developing worlds." Deep beneath the station's false surfaces, quantum computers recorded every scan, every word, every assumption the Kraxan made. Each piece of data would help refine humanity's deception further. "Containment at 82% and falling," Emma called out, her performance perfect. "Reactor temperature exceeding safety parameters." The Kraxan team huddled together, discussing rapidly in their native language. They didn't realize that quantum translation systems were capturing every word, adding to humanity's understanding of their saviors. "We are implementing emergency protocols," Kexley announced. "Your station will be evacuated. The Kraxan Empire will provide a replacement facility more suited to your current technological level." James allowed his shoulders to slump in apparent defeat. "We understand. Should we begin evacuation procedures?" Before Kexley could respond, every warning light in the station turned red. Emma's console erupted in sparks, carefully controlled quantum discharges designed to look like electrical failures. "Containment field critical," Emma shouted. "We have cascade failure in all systems." The Kraxan inspectors rushed to their shuttle, no doubt believing they were about to witness another example of primitive technology destroying itself. As their shuttle cleared the station, Aurora's exterior began to glow ominously. "Quantum signature is perfect," Emma whispered through the secure channel. "They're reading this as a textbook fusion containment failure." James watched through the quantum displays as the Kraxan shuttle retreated to a safe distance. Right on schedule, Aurora's outer hull began to break apart, venting plasma into space, or so it appeared to the Kraxan sensors. In reality, the station was performing exactly as designed, creating a spectacular light show, while its true systems remained perfectly operational. "Message from Command," David announced privately through neural channels. "Commander Santos says Phase 2 is proceeding perfectly. The Kraxan fleet is responding exactly as predicted." As the station appeared to tear itself apart in a catastrophic reactor failure, James allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. The Kraxan Empire thought they were witnessing the death throes of primitive human technology. Instead, they were watching one more act in humanity's greatest deception. "Prepare for Phase 3, James instructed his crew through secure quantum channels. "It's time to show them just how badly they've underestimated the wolves in sheep's clothing." Dr. Maya Patel stood in the heart of quantum control, a facility hidden within the crystalline depths of Antarctica's ice sheets. The chamber hummed with the subtle resonance of quantum processors as she watched the Kraxan fleet's reaction to Aurora Station's apparent destruction. Their ships were moving exactly as predicted, spreading out to establish a protective cordon around Earth. "They're positioning themselves precisely where we want them," Maya commented to her team. The quantum hologram filling the chamber showed the true strategic situation. Hundreds of Kraxan vessels unknowingly settling into a three-dimensional web of quantum manipulation fields. Colonel Marcus Rodriguez, her military liaison, nodded in agreement. "Command confirms the Kraxan are broadcasting their standard protection protocols across all frequencies. They're offering to save us from our own technological inadequacies. Maya allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. The Kraxans' predictability was their greatest weakness. Every civilization they'd encountered had followed the same technological path: brute force energy generation, conventional propulsion, predictable weapons development. They couldn't conceive of a species advancing along different lines. "Begin activating the quantum lattice," Maya commanded. Around her, scientists and engineers worked at stations that appeared to be processing atmospheric data. In reality, they were coordinating the most sophisticated technological trap ever created. "First strand engaging," announced Dr. Sarah Chen, her fingers dancing across neural interfaces disguised as simple keyboards. Quantum fields are propagating through the fleet's formation. A hologram showed invisible strands of altered spacetime beginning to weave between the Kraxan ships. Each strand was undetectable to conventional sensors, appearing only as normal background radiation. But together, they formed a web that would gradually restrict the alien fleet's capabilities. "Message from their flagship," Marcus reported. "High Commander Vextor is demanding Earth's immediate submission. They're citing the Aurora Station incident as proof of our need for their guidance." Maya nodded, her dark eyes reflecting the shimmer of quantum data streams. "Send the response package command prepared. Make it appropriately panicked and desperate." As Earth's carefully crafted message of confusion and fear was transmitted, Maya turned her attention to the next phase: status of the lunar quantum arrays. "All arrays operating at optimal efficiency," Sarah responded. "The moon's dark side is completely masked from their sensors. They have no idea we've transformed it into the largest quantum computer in the solar system." The Kraxan fleet continued their standard deployment pattern, spreading out to surround Earth with what they believed to be an overwhelming show of force. Each ship moved into position like a piece on a cosmic chessboard, never realizing they were being manipulated by subtle gravitational fluctuations and carefully modified sensor readings. "Second strand activation commencing," Maya announced. "Begin power reduction sequence." Across the Kraxan fleet, ships began experiencing minor power fluctuations. Nothing serious enough to raise immediate alarm, just subtle efficiency losses that their engineers would attribute to normal space phenomena. The quantum web was already affecting their systems, though it would be hours before they realized something was wrong. "Sir," one of the quantum technicians called out, "we're detecting increased scan attempts from their science vessels. They might be noticing something." Maya smiled. "They're not noticing anything we don't want them to notice. Their scans are being guided through predetermined patterns. Every anomaly they detect is just another strand in our web." The hologram updated, showing the complex pattern of quantum fields now surrounding the Kraxan fleet. To Maya, it was beautiful, a perfect marriage of physics and strategy. Each ship was now effectively sitting in its own bubble of modified spacetime, though their sensors would never detect the difference. "Message from Commander Santos," Marcus announced. "The Kraxan are beginning their standard integration protocols. They're launching atmospheric processors to help clean our primitive environment." This was the moment Maya had been waiting for. The atmospheric processors were actually the Kraxan's first wave of military infrastructure, devices that would supposedly help Earth while establishing control over its orbital space. "Perfect," Maya said softly. "Begin Phase 3 Subsection Alpha. Let's show them what Earth's atmosphere really contains." As the Kraxan processors descended into Earth's upper atmosphere, they encountered what appeared to be normal pollution levels consistent with an industrialized primitive world. But hidden within that atmosphere was a network of quantum-scale machines that had been accumulating for decades. "Processor fleet entering the mesosphere," Sarah reported. "Quantum saturation reaching optimal levels." Maya watched as the alien devices passed through layers of Earth's atmosphere. Each layer contained its own subtle trap, its own strand in humanity's web. The Kraxan thought they were establishing control. In reality, every move they made only entangled them further. "They're detecting the expected resistance from our orbital defense networks," Marcus noted. "Their ships are moving to neutralize what they think are our primary satellite weapons." Let them, Maya replied. Every system they disable is one more strand in our web. How long until full quantum saturation? Sarah checked her readings. At current deployment rates, we'll achieve total field coverage in approximately 3 hours. The Kraxan fleet will be completely enveloped before they realize anything's wrong. Maya nodded, watching the holographic display as more Kraxan ships moved into position. Each vessel's energy signature was slightly dimmer than it had been an hour ago, though the change was too gradual for their engineers to notice. The quantum web was slowly but surely restricting their power generation capabilities. Update from Lunar Command, Marcus announced. The quantum computer network is tracking every ship in the Kraxan fleet. We're building a complete model of their tactical responses. Excellent, Maya replied. Begin final preparations for Phase 4. When the web is complete, I want to be ready to show the Kraxan Empire exactly what happens when they underestimate humanity. The quantum hologram pulsed with data as humanity's trap continued to close. In orbit high above, the Kraxan fleet continued their standard protocol, never suspecting that their every move was being guided by forces they couldn't detect. The spider's web was nearly complete, and soon it would be time for humanity to reveal its true nature. Admiral Sarah Thompson stood on the bridge of the HFY Thunderchild, humanity's most advanced warship, currently hidden in a quantum pocket dimension just outside the Kraxan fleet's sensor range. The vessel itself was a testament to humanity's different path of evolution, sleek, efficient, and virtually invisible to conventional detection methods. Quantum web saturation at 100%, her tactical officer reported. Dr. Patel confirms all Kraxan vessels are now fully contained within our field matrix. Sarah nodded, her silver hair reflecting the soft blue glow of the quantum displays. After decades of preparation, the moment of revelation had arrived. The Kraxan fleet hung in space before them, their massive ships still broadcasting demands for Earth's submission, even as their power systems quietly struggled against the quantum web's interference. Status of all Thunder-class vessels, Sarah commanded, her voice carrying the weight of 20 years of preparation for this moment. All 30 Thunder-class ships report ready, Admiral. Quantum synchronization is perfect. The fleet can emerge at your command. Around the solar system, humanity's true military force waited in similar quantum pockets, ships that didn't rely on brute force or overwhelming firepower, but on precision, efficiency, and complete mastery of quantum mechanics. Each vessel could outmaneuver and outfight any 3 Kraxan ships, though their enemies would soon learn this the hard way. Message from High Commander Vextor, communications reported. They're demanding an answer to their protection offer within the next 30 minutes, or they'll begin forcible integration procedures. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Send them our response. It's time to show them what humanity has been hiding all these years. Across the quantum web, carefully placed nodes began to activate. The Kraxan fleet's first indication that something was wrong came when their power systems suddenly dropped to 60% efficiency. Their sensors, already compromised by the quantum fields, began reporting impossible readings. They're detecting the power loss, Tactical reported. Their engineering teams are attempting to compensate, reading multiple emergency transmissions across their fleet. Begin Phase 4, Sarah ordered. Let's show them what Thunder-class ships can do. The HFY Thunderchild emerged from its quantum pocket directly in front of the Kraxan flagship. To the alien sensors, it would have appeared as if reality itself had torn open to birth a vessel unlike anything they had ever encountered. The ship's quantum-forged hull seemed to drink in light, its surface rippling with patterns that defied conventional physics. Kraxan flagship is attempting to lock weapons, Tactical announced. Their targeting systems are failing to maintain a lock. The quantum web is functioning perfectly. Sarah opened a channel to the Kraxan flagship. This is Admiral Sarah Thompson of the Earth Fleet ship Thunderchild, to High Commander Vextor. Your assessment of humanity's technological level was incomplete. Around the Kraxan fleet, more quantum pockets began to open. Thunder-class ships emerged in perfect formation, their appearances sending cascading errors through the alien sensor networks. The Kraxan vessels attempted to reorient themselves, but the quantum web had already reduced their maneuverability to a fraction of normal capability. Multiple Kraxan ships attempting to power up their main weapons, Tactical reported. Energy readings show they're barely achieving 40% of normal output. The quantum web is steadily degrading their systems. Show them what real quantum technology can do, Sarah commanded. Tactical. Execute demonstration pattern alpha. The Thunderchild's quantum drive engaged, allowing it to shift between points in space without actually moving through the intervening distance. To the Kraxan sensors, it would appear to be in multiple locations simultaneously, each position perfectly calculated to demonstrate the utter superiority of humanity's technology. Kraxan fleet is attempting to establish a defensive formation, Strategic Operations reported. Their communications are deteriorating as the quantum web tightens. They can no longer maintain fleet cohesion. Sarah watched as the mighty Kraxan armada, which had subjugated countless civilizations, found itself trapped and powerless. Their massive ships, designed to overwhelm through sheer force, were being systematically neutralized by technology they couldn't even detect. Message from High Commander Vextor. Communications announced. They're requesting terms. Put them through, Sarah ordered, standing straight as the holographic image of the Kraxan commander appeared before her. The alien's usual arrogant bearing was notably absent. What are you? Vextor demanded, mandibles clicking in agitation. How is this possible? Your civilization should be centuries away from this level of technology. Sarah's response was calm and measured. You assumed that technological advancement could only follow one path, your path. Humanity chose to develop differently. While you focused on size and power, we focused on efficiency and subtlety. While you built bigger ships, we learned to manipulate the fabric of space itself. The Thunderchild executed another quantum shift, appearing simultaneously at 12 different points around the Kraxan flagship. Each position was precisely calculated to demonstrate complete tactical superiority without appearing overtly threatening. Your fleet is currently trapped within a quantum manipulation field, Sarah explained. Your power systems will continue to degrade until your ships are completely neutralized. You have two choices, High Commander. You can surrender and open diplomatic relations with Earth as equals, or... She let the statement hang. Around the Kraxan fleet, more Thunder-class ships emerged from quantum pockets, each demonstration making it increasingly clear just how completely humanity had outmaneuvered them. The galaxy is larger and more complex than you imagined, High Commander, Sarah continued. Perhaps it's time for the Kraxan Empire to learn that not all species need your protection. Some of us have been protecting ourselves all along. As the Kraxan fleet hung powerless in space, surrounded by ships that defied their understanding of physics, the truth began to dawn on them. They hadn't found another primitive civilization to guide. They had stumbled into a carefully laid trap, sprung by a species that had surpassed them long ago, and simply chosen to keep that fact hidden. Thunder had struck, and the galaxy would never be the same. 1 month after Operation Silent Thunder, Commander Elena Santos stood in the newly constructed Galactic Assembly Chamber in Geneva. The vast room, built with a blend of traditional architecture and quantum technology, hosted representatives from over 30 spacefaring civilizations, most of them former protectorates of the Kraxan Empire. The quantum displays lining the walls showed real-time translations in dozens of languages as Elena addressed the assembly. Behind her, the Earth Defense Fleet's new insignia, a quantum web surrounding the stylized Earth, served as a reminder of how drastically the galaxy's power structure had shifted. The age of enforced protection is over, Elena declared, her voice carrying to every corner of the chamber. Earth does not seek to replace the Kraxan Empire as the galaxy's self-appointed guardian. Instead, we offer partnership, mutual respect, and a new understanding of technological advancement. In the diplomatic section, former High Commander Vextor, now serving as the Kraxan Republic's ambassador, shifted uncomfortably. The past month had seen sweeping changes throughout former Craxan space as subject worlds claimed independence and centuries of imposed order crumbled. Humanity's path of development proves that there is no single road to advancement. Elena continued. While the Craxan Empire built ever larger ships and more powerful weapons, we explored the subtle manipulation of quantum fields. While they sought to dominate through visible strength, we learned the value of hidden capability. Dr. Maya Patel, seated with Earth's scientific delegation, nodded in agreement. Her team was already working with scientists from a dozen worlds, sharing carefully selected aspects of quantum technology. The galaxy was learning that cooperation could achieve more than coercion ever had. The quantum web technology that neutralized the Craxan fleet wasn't developed as a weapon, Elena explained. It was created as a defensive system, designed to protect Earth while allowing us to develop at our own pace. Now, we offer this technology, under appropriate safeguards, to any world that wishes to ensure its own independence. Admiral Sarah Thompson, watching from her command chair aboard the Thunderchild, smiled as she saw the reactions among the assembled delegates. The ship hung in high orbit, visible to all as a reminder of humanity's capabilities, yet its presence was reassuring rather than threatening. We understand the fear that drove the Craxan Empire to establish its system of protectorates, Elena acknowledged. The galaxy can be a dangerous place, but true security comes not from imposing uniformity, but from embracing diversity. Each civilization must be free to find its own path. In the cultural exchange section, Lieutenant James Chen sat with representatives from worlds that had already begun establishing diplomatic relations with Earth. His experiences during the revelation of humanity's true capabilities had made him an ideal liaison for species struggling to understand humanity's unique approach to advancement. Earth proposes the establishment of a new Galactic Council, Elena announced. Not one dominated by any single power, but a true forum for cooperation and mutual advancement. We offer our quantum communication technology to facilitate instant communication between member worlds, and our quantum shield technology to protect developing civilizations from exploitation. The chamber erupted in discussion as delegates debated this unprecedented proposal. The quantum displays showed hundreds of conversations happening simultaneously in multiple languages, all centered on humanity's vision for the future. We also extend a special invitation to the Craxan Republic. Elena continued, turning to address Vextor directly. Your civilization's experience in galactic administration, combined with a new appreciation for alternative paths of development, could be invaluable in this new era. Vextor stood, his massive frame drawing all eyes in the chamber. The Craxan people have learned painful but necessary lessons, he acknowledged. We accepted as universal truth what was merely one path among many. The Republic accepts Earth's invitation, not as leaders, but as equals. The assembly burst into applause. Across the galaxy, quantum relays carried the proceedings to billions of beings on hundreds of worlds. A new age was dawning, one built not on force or dominance, but on understanding and cooperation. In the weeks that followed, more civilizations emerged from hiding, revealing technological achievements that differed radically from the Craxan standard. Some had mastered biological computing, others had developed consciousness transfer technology, and still others had found ways to manipulate dark energy. The galaxy, it seemed, held far more diversity than anyone had imagined. Earth's quantum web technology became the foundation of a new galactic defense system, protecting developing civilizations while allowing them to advance along their own unique paths. The Thunder-class ships, once instruments of revelation, became symbols of protection and scientific exploration. Commander Elena Santos stood at her observation window in the Deep Space Monitor facility, watching the quantum displays show traffic from a dozen alien vessels approaching Earth. Each ship represented a different path of technological development, a different way of solving the universe's mysteries. Message from the Galactic Council, her aide announced. The 100th member world has just been admitted. The galaxy's entering a new golden age of diversity and cooperation. Elena smiled, remembering the tense moments before humanity revealed its true nature. They had proven that sometimes the most powerful civilization was the one wise enough to hide its power until the right moment. The Silent Watchers had emerged from the shadows not to dominate, but to guide the galaxy toward a better future. The quantum web still surrounded Earth, but now it was just one of many protective systems safeguarding civilization throughout the galaxy. Humanity had shown that there were always alternative paths, always different ways to advance. The stars themselves seemed brighter somehow, illuminating a future where diversity and cooperation replaced uniformity and domination. A new dawn had truly arrived.